It's Sheena Patel. I've written I'm a Fan. It's been longlisted for the Jhalak Prize, which I'm extremely pleased with. So I'll do a little reading of a couple of the chapters in it. I'll take a little pause in between. Do I? I stalk a woman on the internet who is sleeping with the same man as I am. Sometimes when I'm too quick to look at her stories, I block her temporarily so she doesn't know I absent-mindedly refresh her page 15 times a minute while Netflix plays in the background on my laptop, my stomach flipping sick with delight when her profile picture is ring red. She has tens of thousands of followers, is verified, and is the daughter of someone famous in America. An endless stream of white people fawn in the comments under her posts. She has opinions about household objects which I have never given a thought to before, firm tastes in the types of beeswax candles to burn, lays exquisite cloth on her table in anticipation of dinner, knows where to buy limited edition pottery from well-regarded potters. She will happily spend $300 on a vase where she displays really, really organic fennel flowers, by which she says there is organic and then organic. Buys a $500 ring for herself during a time of financial strife for the rest of the world and shows it off in a selfie. She uses a filter on Instagram, which burns up her flaws. It thins down her cheeks and radioactively erases the two thick lines shaped like spooning V's, which are carved in her forehead and erupt from her face more prominently when she raises her eyebrows. A sick sense of satisfaction rips through me when I see them. She orders takeout from the right restaurants, seems to know everyone in the higher echelons of society, is accepted into the kinds of circles which seem out of reach to me. Sometimes I wonder, if I ever met her, what would I say to her? Would I tell her of our connection? Would I tell her I know where she lives? Would I tell her how I guessed that she broke up with her boyfriend? Would I tell her I know why the tone of her stories changed? Because the man we are both sleeping with, the man I want to be with, shamed her for exploiting her privacy the last time they saw one another. Would I tell her that I know who her ex-husband is? I've seen his new family and he seems happy now, happier than the photos I've seen of the two of them. Would I tell her I know who all her friends are and I watch their stories too? Would I tell her I screenshot the photos she takes of herself and study her face so intently sometimes I fear I've picked up some facial expressions or tonal inflections from her because I listened to her speaking with her father on YouTube over and over before I go to sleep? Would I move in closer to smell her and feel what he felt when he felt her? Would I taste the inside of your mouth to find out what was so compelling? Would I press into you? I want to know exactly how your body moves when you are turned on, to know for myself why he cancelled fucking me to fuck you. Nepotism it girl. I live in the world of mass consumerism, picking out kitchenware and furniture from IKEA, pining for jewellery from Argos and showing off fast fashion from the high street. One size fits all is the perfect size for me. My race blots out my individuality quite neatly. I'm in the world of identical goods with inbuilt obsolescence. The woman I'm obsessed with will only ever be an individual. The uniformity with which mass consumerism and race engulfs me does not touch her universe. Her regenerative organic food is grown to a level of purity by which she can sneer at the quality in Whole Foods. Her food is grown by farmers she knows by first name and arranged in beautiful handmade one-off pottery. Her food could be traced back to the seed, whereas mine is bought through a complex line of anonymized automated industrialist networks. Every object she owns is of heirloom quality, made by one person and has an individual personality. They often come from makers who have disclaimers like, due to the handmade nature of these items, some of them will differentiate in tone or texture or colour, but we think it adds to their specialness. Sometimes the makers are dead, so immediately the object becomes more special in her care, or they're sourced from antique shops off dirt tracks from abroad. As the child of a famous person, this feeling of being a rare kind of human being, being born of a rare kind of human being from a uniquely wrought household, is underlined by the objects she surrounds herself with. Even the books she reads are first edition or are out of print, sourced from ramshackle bookshops in out-of-the-way places from cities all over the world. The unattainability of what she chooses to surround herself with seemingly rubs off on her. It further alludes to qualities she has that are innately hers by birthright, and it creates a kind of frenzy around her from others. The woman I'm obsessed with captions her food as pure, perfect, and best. Only this standard of quality will do. She presents nettle-infused risotto in saucepans called donabi, which I have to Google, $500 from an authentic Japanese vendor. Wild flowers she buys from her local farmer's market are presented in handmade designer jugs shipped over from her half-sister in England. She says England in this very deliberate way, not mongrel Britain or the UK, but England, as if she has extracted the native character of the country that is mine. Her food has individual character. She anthropomorphizes her pink letters, captioning the photo with, "This gorgeous beauty is coming home with me," as if even her food has to look devastatingly alluring, has to have some remarkable individual quality to it before she deigns to bring it home with her. In an interview, she says she spent almost $100 on 8 heritage apples, and it's obvious she was unaware of the problematic nature of admitting this, which implies she doesn't know the value of money divided by industrial bodily labour and time. She posts very simple recipes and people write comments like, "Doing this now, thanks for the idea. Where'd you get that beautiful pot? This is the recipe of the year." Under her photos, people will write, "You have such a wonderful sensibility for arranging still lifes, utilizing natural light and framing photographs." And I think if the only thing I had to do all day was take a photo of what I bought at a farmer's market, then my photos would look like still lifes too. Hate scrolling her Instagram unleashes something corrosive in me. I sneer as I read through the sometimes hundreds of comments she gets, the adulation, how carefully she is spoken to. My mouth gets used to the shape it makes when reading them, relishes it even. She surreptitiously deletes anyone who questions her cultural appropriation of her espousing other cultures like it's her own. But because I'm often first to her posts or stories, I see them. And then because I revisit her profile so often, I notice them disappear. When I see this, I crow with glee at her inability to bear being criticised. To my delight, she posts awkwardly in her selfies. She has a smile frozen to her face, and the whites of her eyes are too exposed, giving her a frightened look. Her hair is flipped to one side, often using a filter, always preferring her left side. She tags where she buys her clothes, a balloon sleeve but peasant top with a wide prairie collar, tapering off to a frilly cuff paired. Oh my God, lots of hours. Frilly cuffed paired with plain white jeans from companies I haven't heard of, owned by white women who pose in beautiful minimal interiors. They want you to buy their goods, but their material diet is one of abstinence. I Google the price of her clothes and total that her outfit costs about £3,000. The company that sell the top have this frolicky white girl cottagecore aesthetic. In June 2020, they post a black square, and from then on, they post frolicky black women in their company's cottagecore aesthetic and say they acknowledge they have to do better. I meticulously research each item she recommends in a tastemaker list she is included in. She buys vintage designer clothes from high-end boutiques, plain clothes and shoes from expensive independent designers who use their full names on their labels. I wonder why no one questions her on the nepotism she benefits from. I see it all as one system, this self-congratulatory circle of backpatting and unaccountability, a circle of whiteness that commends her open-mindedness, but the kind of open-mindedness that looks just like them, a hall of mirrors in a closed room. I hover over the items she tags and recommends, thinking, this is a way of getting close to her. If I buy these one-off items like her from individual vendors, from makers who have limited edition runs of their very niche specific items like clay candle holders or jugs or plates, then I too will be a unique, rare and special person like she is. And maybe the man I want to be with will want me and won't throw me away like he does so dismissively. I will be something of note and care. I will be something to show off owning.